Okay, we're going to start off with a very, very classy book. As you can see from the cover, very, very classy book. It's called Vampirella. Number 3, Dead Walk. Does everybody know who Vampirella is?
No, I've never met the lady in question. Oh, why not? You're all.
That's not what I heard.
It wasn't the sort of area he'd have picked for a meeting. The pretty black girl with very short flowered skirt scratched at her upper thigh. Then she smiled at Adam Van Helsing, raising her eyebrows inquiringly. Adam gave the girl a sympathetic but negative nod as he passed her by. I'm getting rebates all this month, she said. 3 small ragged boys were crouched at the gutter edge, watching a dog who was stretched out on the island of the snows. He's not breathing, insisted one of the boys. Sure he is. Look, he's got his tongue hanging out, and that's how dogs breathe. He's dead, this dog. Feel his nose. It's ice cold. He's dead. No, that's healthy when a dog's nose is cold. Hey, senor, is the dog dead or not? The tallest of the 3 asked Annie. The broad-shouldered, dark-haired man halted and took a look. I'm afraid he's dead. Fellas, your seat cover on? Didn't I tell you? You're certain, senor? Giving nod, and moving on. The cafe he was heading for was at the next corner. Guitar music considerably amplified came rushing, I know it's terrible, out of the narrow restaurant. Just as Adam passed the place, its lights came on. Logos flashed the dusty neon sign. Island and American style meals. 2 more pretty girls were standing now next to the logos. You're new, said one of them. Not that new, said the last of the blue was draining from the sky, and dusk flowed through the curving lanes and alleys of the sector of the coast of Chalet. I know. I'm after money for charging.
Alright, I'll have another 20 please.
Here's 70p.
Another 50p.
Make it a nice round one pound. We need a bucket. We need someone with a bucket.
Yes. Okay, we'll carry on then with the wonderful Guy N. Smith.
Bucket's not here.
He'd obviously had some serious problems with crabs in his youth. Not only had he written Crab's Moon, but also Night of the Crabs.
Crabs.
And crabs in general, obviously. That's firing on Shell Island tonight. His voice was a hoarse whisper, his features white with strain and shock. The island has been attacked, virtually destroyed. There's nothing left of all the WD buildings and equipment. They won't know until daylight how many lives have been lost. Attacked! Winterbottom was incredulous. By whom? By hundreds of giant crabs as big as fucking cows. Yeah, absolutely. Yes. Wonderful grammar. Shocking order. By hundreds of giant crabs as big as fucking cows. I presume that's like 2 cows. One on top of the other. I didn't believe it at first, but I do now. It sounds crazy, but it's true. The ministry reckon this coastline is crawling with them. Crabs or fucking cows, I'm not sure.
Well, it should be crabs crawling, but...
That's what hit our boat out there tonight. That's got to be the crabs. We went right over the top of them, scraped our hull on their shells. Jesus Christ Almighty, if they wanted, they could have overturned the Ocean Queen and done to us what they did to Shell. But they were too intent on attacking the shore to worry about us. We have to evacuate the camp. Ricky Winterbottom felt that he was expected to come up with something.
50p to stop.
50p to go on.
Get everybody to safety. That's just what we don't have to do, Miles Mannings.
You're reading.
Where are you going to? Well, I've only just come in, so I'll put 50p to carry on. The poor brain full, okay.
We're carrying on. That's just what we don't have to do. Miles Manning slid a King Edward cigar out of its case. He took his time unwrapping the cellophane and piercing the end seductively. Doesn't say that.
It's got sex on mine.
Collecting the day's thoughts while he got it going. The cigar.
50 feet to read in the style of a Haynes manual.
I'm having trouble reading it in my style, that's anything else. This is going to be one of the biggest military operations since the last war. Already the army are setting up roadblocks and defences. They expect the crabs to come ashore again in force at any moment. But if we play this right, we can turn it to our advantage. If what you say is true, there won't be much of the camp left if the crabs come ashore again. I think we're in a very fortunate position. Manning blew a cloud of smoke up to the ceiling. His confidence had returned. We've got good defences here because when this place was built, the seawall was strengthened and built right up to keep high tides back. First thing in the morning, I want every casual labourer from road sweepers and luggage boys to maintenance men down by the jetty sandbagging. Is that something I've not heard of? Sandbagging?
You're probably like gold bricking.
Damn it, we can keep the bloody crabs out, no bother. And these folks at the camp will love it, because they'll know they're safe. Our man in the street is a ghoul who loves to watch carnage from safety. And by God, it's right in the pound seats here.
50 feet to stop, because we haven't had any money for ages.
I'm here 50 feet.
All 50 feet carry on.
I'll have another 50 feet to stop.
Well,
Stop so far.
I'll put in a pound on the crab action.
And to carry on.
I'll put 52p in stop.
152 to stop so far.
Oh, that was 50 feet. Oh, sorry, that's a stop, is it?
Stop is 5 feet ahead. Carry on.
120 carry on.
Looks like we're carrying on. Okay.
Carry on.
Phew! Ricky Winterbottom licked his lips, glanced at the two security men, and if it doesn't work, some 5,000 men, women and kids will be caught in the biggest bloody death camp since Belsen. And we get them out while there's still time. It's too late! It's too late!
It's a guy in Smith book, that's got to be applications for all.
Twin red patches appeared on Miles Manning's cheeks.
Oh.
Yeah, they did. A sure danger. Oh right.
Pay attention.
A sure danger sign to those who knew him. People never make people never make an orderly exodus. They'll panic and congest the roads, and then they'll be at the mercy of the crabs. Plus the fact they'll be obstructing the army. Right now, we don't tell them a thing. Not until they hear it on their radios tomorrow. Even then, they won't realise just how critical the situation is. But we'll have the main gates padlocked and chained just in case.
Butlets.
Then I'll explain the situation to them, play it down, make it sound like some sort of big game. Miles Manning left the security office, noted how the crowds were only just beginning to disperse. Somewhere close by, a bingo caller was calling the last house. On the twos, 22. He stopped, listened. There was no firing to be heard now. The crabs had come ashore, conquered and returned to their ocean stronghold. He would feel a damn sight happier when the one weak link in the sea wall down by the jetty was sandbagged. Just a few hours and it would be done. He prayed the crustaceans held off that long. A dream, a nightmare. Manning still didn't know whether to believe it or not. But true or false, he was determined to turn the situation to his own advantage. End of chapter.
How to stop and leave us with this awful moment of tension.
Absolutely.
Will they get ashore before the sinking is over?
I'll add 152p to stop.
Just go get
This time, I'm going to read from one of probably the original turkeys. It's called the Eye of Argon.
Right. Can you read this? You have to read correctly, no breathing. Master of all stops.
The weather-beaten trail wound ahead into the dust-racked climes of the barren land which dominates large portions of the Norgolian Empire. Age-worn hoofprints smothered by the shifting sands of time shone dully against the dust-splattered crust of the earth. The tireless sun cast its scorching rays of incandescence from overhead. Halfway through its daily revolution. Small rodents scampered about, occupying themselves in the daily accomplishment of their dismal lives. Dust sprayed over three heaving mounts in blinding clouds while they bore on the burdensome cargoes of their struggling overseers. Prepare to embrace your creators in the sticking haunts of hell, barbarian, gasped the first soldier. Only after you have kissed the fleeting steed of death, wretch, returned Griegner. His shrieking blade of flashing steel riveted from the massive barbarian hide enameled shield as his rippling right arm thrust forth, sending a steel-shod blade to the hilt in the soldier's vital organs. The disemboweled mercenary crumpled from his saddle and sank to the clouded sword, sprinkling the parched dust with crimson droplets of escaping life fluid. The enthused barbarian swiveled about, his shock of fiery red hair tossing robustly in the humid air currents as he faced the attack of the defeated soldier's fellow in arms. Damn you, barbarian! Shrieked the soldier as he observed his comrade in death. A gleaming scimitar smote a heavy blow against the renegade's spiked helmet, bringing a heavy cloud of the accordion's misting brain. Shaking off the effects... Accordion. No, not accordion.
Yeah, right.
Accordion. Shaking off the effects of the pounding blow to his head, Griegner brought down his scarlet streak edge against the soldier's crudely forged halberd, clanging harmlessly to the left side of his opponent. The soldier's steed whinnied as he directed the horse back from the driving blade of the barbarian. Griegner leashed his mount forward as the hoarsely piercing battle cry of his wilderness-bred race resounded from his grinding lungs. A twirling blade bounced harmlessly from the mighty thief's buckler as his rolling right arm clapped upward, sending a foot of blinding steel ripping through the Cimmerian's exposed gullet. It's just me, or are there three countries involved here? Only sort of two sides. A gasping gurgle from the soldier's writhing mouth as he tumbled to the golden sand at his feet and wormed agonizingly in his deathbed.
If you say to stop.
Now carry on. Griegner's emerald green orb glared lustily at the wallowing soldier struggling before his chestnut-scroll mount. His startling voice reverberated over the dying form in the tone of mocking mirth. You city-bred dogs should learn not to antagonize your better. Reining in his weary mount ahead, Griegner resumed his journey to the Norgelian city of Gorzan, hoping to discover wine, women, and adventure to boil the wild blood coursing through his savage veins. The trek to Gorzon was forced upon Griegner when the soldiers of Crid were leashed upon him by the faithless concubine he had wooed. His scandalous activities throughout the Cimmerian city had unleashed throngs of havoc and uproar amongst its refined patricians, leading them to tack a heavy reward over his head. He had barely managed to escape through the back entrance of the inn he had been guzzling in as a squad of soldiers pounced upon him. After spilling a spout of blood from the leader of the mercenaries as he disemboweled one of his officers' arms, he retreated to his mount to make his way toward Gorzan, rumoured to contain hoards of plunder and many young witches for any man who had the backbone to wrest them away. mention punctuation. Chapter. Chapter 2. There's 35 pages in this. And I'm only on page 3.
I'm not to start chapter 2.
Start chapter 2.
Why 60 extra P to allow you to breathe?
That's great. 60 feet to continue in line. Breathe and stop.
45p stop.
R.L. Fanthorpe, Neuron World. I have to read you this bit. It would appear to be an advertisement. I have checked several pages before and several pages afterwards.
It says none.
It really doesn't appear to have anything to do with the book, so I must assume that this is an actual advert.
But it was written by one Fanthorpe.
Varicose ulcers, eczema and psoriasis. Is your leg painful with wounds or ulcers which do not heal? Is your leg raw, sore, inflamed and burning? Do you suffer from dry, scaly eczema? Do you suffer from swelling, tiredness, heaviness, aching pain in the legs? Is your scalp or your skin affected by psoriasis eruptions? Why suffer all these leg or skin troubles? Tremol relieves pain, heals wounds and ulcers, banishes aching and heaviness, soothes inflammations and irritations, checks weeping, clears dry scaliness and skin troubles affecting the leg, and the redness and scale of psoriasis of both the skin and the scalp. Over 50 years, Tremol has earned the praise and gratitude of sufferers. Their experience should be your guide. Good news for sufferers. We have published an illustrated brochure which tells of why slight knocks may cause years of suffering, why a scratch refuses to heal, how painful ulcers are formed, why the skin becomes sore and weeping, the cause of swelling and aching pain, how psoriasis develops, why scale and redness form on the skin and scalp, why psoriasis is often stubborn. Whether you suffered for only a few weeks or have suffered for a few years, this brochure is a revelation. It gives most useful and informative. It's most useful and informative, and records an amazing volume of personal tributes. Think what this could mean to you, to be free from leg troubles and to walk in comfort. You will do your housework with ease, and your shopping becomes a pleasure.
Once you take these, everything's good.
If you suffer from psoriasis, think what a healthy leg might mean to you. No unsightly scale or distressing patches of redness, no irritation, no embarrassing anxiety when you're at work or with your friends. Banish your leg or skin trouble, and you can join freely with your friends in sports, recreations and social activities. You can dress with pride. You can share the freedom and happiness of holidays. A new life is open to you, and a new leg obviously. Here is the opportunity you sought, right today, enclosing 9p worth of stamps. And you will receive a brochure and particulars of Tremol by return. These are of vital importance. Do not despair and suffer needlessly. Address your letter stating your complaint to the National College of Health Inquiry Department, Great Cloud Street, Broughton, Manchester 7. Actually nothing to do with the book. Like
How to stop the dogs having an epileptic fit?
How to stop?
What do you found just having heard that advert?
I'm not sure when it was
Put it
published.
this way, if they think that's the target audience, I don't want to know what the rest of the book is.
Nasty, scaly people, obviously.
The catastrophe was even more horrible than he had feared. The guard, James Seabrook, was down on the concrete floor of the stone, groaning and writhing in the toils of cast-off technical. He had thrown his right arm across his face to protect his eyes from the blinding incandescence of the still exploding horror. There was no sign of the diamond plant itself. Where the great growth had stood yonder. Carstairs knew he had one chance of 5,000 of tearing away the black and smoking tank without burning the flesh from his palms. But he did not stop to brood over his chances, or weigh the heaviness of the odds of somebody else's carelessness stacked against him. He fell to his knees beside the prostrate guard, tugged and wrenched with horror with all his strength, his breath coming with heaving gasps. Fortunately, the tentacle had stopped exploding. Although the heat seared Carstairs' palms and lanced upwards towards his elbows, there was no longer any incandescence of life. He merely seemed to be grasping exploding matchboxes in both hands. The agony sickened him. After what seemed like an eternity, the pain eased a little, and the tentacle ceased to squirm. With a convulsive effort, he untwined the loathsome thing, his fingers tearing off charred chunks. Seabrook helped him by rolling over and raising himself on his elbows.
Crossed his elbows.
It's not ridiculous. Seabrook's elbows, he was the last person. Anyway, the three tentacles smelled like burnt rubber. With a grunt of revulsion, Carstairs threw it into a heap of leaf mold and stuck it to his feet. Instantly, his wobbly knees carried him to the circular pit where the diamond pipe cleared itself to the roof span. Bottom heat arose from between coconut fibers all around him, drying sweat on his forehead. He stood staring up through the wavering film, watching Seabrook get up. That was white of me, sir. You know, I was almost gone. They lifted the plant out of the pulleys, sir. See, up there? They smashed the glass and lifted it out while I was trying to break loose from a mad nest. Carstairs looked up. The roof span was a mass of splintered glass, which red sunlight poured. Jagged shadows danced upon the wall sashes and asphodels overhead. Gone was the equalization of light which had filled the stone, diffuse metal radiance. Good Lord! Exclaimed Carstairs. One of the tentacles exploded while they were lifting it out, sir. The one who was holding me jumped back a split second before it quick around me. They got clean away, sir. With the plant. Are you hurt badly, Seabrook? The guard shook his head. Only my arms, sir. That asbestos shirt you gave me came in handy. Better put on some carrot oil, Carstairs advised. 10 minutes later, a white-faced Carstairs was back in the filing room, an audio-busy board cupped in his bandaged right hand. Vera Dorn sat before her typewriter, drumming out comments with one finger and staring levelly over the machine. So you're keeping it quiet on the QT as far as little Vera is concerned, she said confidently. He glared at her. Stop pounding on the machine. 10 seconds flat, I'll be talking to an inspector of police. I promise to talk loud so you won't miss the thing. Oh, thank you. Don't mention it. Inspector McGuire? In the audio-vision phone, an angry face appeared amid the opalescent flickerings. Inspector McGuire was a square-jawed, gimlet-eyed man a little over 40, with flecks of grey in his hair and a voice that sounded like an outraged horn. What is this, Mr. Carstairs? Can't you see me? The image plate was foggy. It's getting clear now. Plenty clear at this end, rapped McGuire. I can see him as clearly as I can see you. Him? Old man Trouble. He's standing right at your elbow. What is this time, Mr. Curator? One of your walking plants take powder? I'm sorry, Inspector, but this is serious. Some very foolish crooks broke into the plant store and stole our most valuable specimen. What would that be? I'm no mind reader. They stole the carbon-eating diamond plant from Uranus. Huh? What's that? You mean to say? The crazy fools must have taken seriously the newspaper nonsense that's been decorating the front pages. Newspaper nonsense? I thought that plant was worth its weight in platinum. You mean it doesn't turn out diamonds? It turns out diamonds, all right. Big, beautiful stones that weigh 500 carats. But you couldn't sell them for 10 cents and any amount of money. I don't get it. Inspector, the plant eats pure carbon. It subjects it to terrific pressure. Its internal energies would give a cyclotron. It's not incredible. But the best it can do with carbon isn't good enough. We need a diamond, sure. Technically, any crystalline aggregate which yields carbon dioxide when burnt in oxygen, burnt soft iron into steel, and is insoluble in acids, is a diamond. But that doesn't mean it's the type of diamond you want your wife to wear to the 200 line. The diamond plant excludes short, forked diamonds. The large, definitely structurals. A look of relief spread across McGuire's face. It does, huh? And all you've lost is a specimen. That's all we've lost, Inspector. Getting that plant from Uranus to Earth set the gardens back $40,000. We have to build a special stove in the expedition ship so we can regrow the tentacle and throw around our best field man on Uranus. He's lying under lifeless clay on the northeastern plains, simply because he wanted the gardens to have the rarest, most formidable plant in the system. But, as you say, it's only a specimen. I thought that collector filler was killed when one of your rocket tubes backfired. That's what we told the reporters. How many of you seekers can you give up to the press? If you're interested, Washington has a complete report. Look under File 20, Space Routes Mortality Document, July 6, 2023. I'm a policeman, not a scientist. It's a very dangerous specimen, Frank Monsters. Do you know what happens when you take the glass snake? What? I'm supposed to be a snakeologist now? Although the glass snake is really a lizard, it looks exactly like a snake. When you pick it up, its tail snaps off and points around your hand. The diamond plant is a little like a glass snake. When the jar is tilted, a tentacle snaps off and explodes. We've been keeping that plant stunted by feeding or containing more than 40% graphite. Oh, it's trouble away. On Uranus, diamond plants reach a height of 400 feet. It requires drop down. On Uranus, they grow hundreds of tentacles, but that's not what I'm afraid of. On Uranus, they sometimes explode. A full-grown diamond plant will go third level clear in space. But it could grow overnight, require completed closely. It does, if it gets pure carbon. You've got to find it before then. But the third level is honeycomb and graphite lubricating plants. You better throw out a dragnet, put your entire force on it, and sound a general alarm. If that plant revents itself in the sluices and beats for 8 hours, New York will be a 2-level town. They can send carbon 10 miles away. I'll do what I can, said McGuire. If the third level goes, I wouldn't want to be in your shoes, Mr. Curator. When Carstairs hung up, he looked so ill that your dog became alarmed. Steady, darling. It takes 20 hours for the plant to go through its whole life. I know, but how can it get into a lubricating plant? It doesn't have a balance. All the power stations are heavily guarded. That's why I didn't board McGuire straight off, Carstairs said. I didn't realize that East 34th Street is a dark, cluttered maze of alleyways and giant parking lots. It may take hours to locate that plant. And meanwhile, Vera, if you were starving, would you let a guard stand in your way? But you're talking about a plant. An intelligent plant. That's another thing I didn't tell Laura. The audio-visual phone was clicking again. This time the inspector blurted his sentences, like a man who has to tell about a nightmare, drink his coffee and catch a train, all within 2 minutes. It's in a lubricating plant, Mr. Curator, entrenched in the sluices behind the biggest power turbine in Manhattan. Yeah, the East River Twister. Now what do we do? Has anyone been injured? No, just killed. 4 or 5 employees of the plant. That vicious plant has only 20 tentacles left now, but I think it needs to grow more. Can you save the third level, Mr. Creator? How's your bag of tricks this evening? McGuire's voice quivered hysterically. It seemed shocking somehow, considering he was supposed to be a hard-boiled police officer. Carstairs' face grew whiter, but there was cold determination in his eyes. I'll take care of it, Inspector, he promised. Although Carstairs was unlikely to waste a single second, he had no intention of rushing blindly into danger. Viridon's advice, he decided, was easily worth a minute of time in any emergency.
Time to stop!